Welcome to Let's Talk About Relationships, episode 5. This episode is all about online dating. And for the past 2 years, I've been doing an experiment. It's cost me time and money and energy and heart, but it's all been for you. Well, a little bit for me, but for you, and you are welcome. I've used a number of online dating sites, met a bunch of interesting people, and overall had quite a varied experience. I've been on a few dates, I've chatted with a bunch of guys, I've had quite a few almost meetups, and I've contacted a whole load of gorgeous guys who just never got back to me. Online dating. For a long time, I avoided it. Mainly because I had this movie meet cute in my mind where I would run into this single gorgeous guy who would realize that I'm the one he's been looking for all along. It hasn't happened to me just as yet. Unlike the movies and my idealistic daydreams, online dating is both exhilarating and disappointing. Here's a few tips for you from my experience the last 2 years. Before you sign up, I really encourage you to check your heart and motivation and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Have you already explored possible relationships with those who are already around you? It's easier and cheaper to find someone who is real in the real world than try to connect with someone in the virtual world. Online dating is a risk. You're essentially gambling with your heart, your time, and your money. And like the lottery, some people win really big, but most people don't. It has the capacity to expose your fears, your insecurities, and your frustrations. But you can also learn a whole lot about yourself, and it can be a wonderful learning experience. I have comprised a list of tips for you from my experience, but again, you are responsible for what you do. Take these as just advice, and you need to make your own way and choose how you want to live your life, not live my life. But here we go. Number 1, research. I recommend that you research a whole bunch of online dating sites and find out which one's best for you. There are some that are faith-based, some that are location-based, and some that deal with people who really like beards, and like me, so yes, I may have signed up for that. But try that out, have a look, and make sure you sign up for the online trial first before you pay anything, so that you can explore the sites and find out the limitations of the trials, as they all have quite big limitations around what you can do and how you can contact people. Number 2, budget. I really recommend that you set a budget of time and money before you get into paying for an online dating site. You should know how much you want to spend and how much time you want to spend when you go online, so that you don't just let yourself go crazy and spend hours on there and also spend a lot of money that you hadn't planned to, because it's very addictive. I also recommend only paying for one site at a time. It's less confusing, and it really means you can focus on that group of people without getting distracted by a whole bunch of other stuff. Number 3, photos. Photos are unfortunately a really important part of online dating. I have seen some terrible photos, and it's meant that I haven't wanted to explore those profiles even more. It's shallow, but that's unfortunately how online dating works. So you need 5 to 8 really good photos of yourself taken, I recommend, in the last year. No duck faces or fish or previous partners or kids, I also recommend, unless that comes as part of your package. I recommend that they be close, you be smiling, and they be you doing your normal life. Having a good set of pictures makes your profile more trustworthy and allows people to get a clearer idea of who you are. Number 4, profile. I recommend that you keep your profile brief, and spelling and grammar are really important. Speak confidently about yourself, your values, the things that are important to you, what you like about yourself, and what you're looking for. If you're 25 years old and you don't want to date a 35-year-old, it's okay to say so. Number 5, plan. I recommend that you make a plan about how many people you are going to contact and connect with every time you go online. It's easy just to scroll through all the pictures and not actually really communicate with anyone, which that is the point of online dating. The more people you contact, the higher the chance that someone's going to contact you back. Number 6, respond. The biggest frustration in the online dating world for me and many others is when people don't return your contact or your message. Most of the time you can see that they have seen your message and that they can respond, but they don't. And it's very frustrating because you've taken the time to actually take a chance and contact them. If someone takes a risk to contact you, it's kind and polite to respond to them, even if it's a no. I recommend being clear, and you don't have to give a whole bunch of reasons as to why you don't want to contact them, but it's really important to do it. And if they keep wanting to contact you, it's okay to just not talk to them anymore. Number 7, Be bold. Even though online dating is centered around first impressions and pictures and profiles, my advice to you is to look more for red flags or deal breakers, things that would definitely be a no for you. Jobs can change, people can move cities, they can shave off their beards, but I really recommend to look for more of the big no's rather than all the little yeses. You want someone to take a chance on you, so I recommend you do the same. Number 8, meet. Online dating only ever gives you an idea of a person. It doesn't really give you a chance to get to know them exactly for who they are. So my recommendation is as soon as possible, you should organize to meet up. You maybe talk online for a little bit, then you should move to making some phone calls, and then I recommend within a month of chatting regularly, you should meet up. I understand online dating often includes long distance, so you should include a FaceTime or a Skype date really quickly so that you can get an idea of the person, but also make sure they are who they say they are. Number 9, the first date. This is a great opportunity to see whether you might consider this person as a future friend. I recommend that you keep it short, you talk about your hobbies, your likes, your dislikes, and make sure you ask them the same. Don't just talk about yourself. After the date, ask yourself, is there more that I'd like to know about this person? Could I see myself hanging out with them again? Could I be friends with them? Would they get along with my current group of friends? Don't ask yourself the question we secretly all really want to ask, could I marry this person? That's not the best question to ask after a first date. Number 10, what now? The reality is that online dating skips a whole bunch of normal relational steps. It throws us into hot water straight away. It's okay to say, no, I don't want to go out with you again after the first date. But I recommend, unless there's a whole bunch of really clear red flags or deal breakers that came up, why not go out again and get to know them in a different context? If your first date was coffee or a meal, why not go and play bowls? Go play bowls. Even though I do recommend that you dig a little deeper, take a chance, broaden your horizons by connecting with people that maybe you wouldn't normally be attracted to, it's really okay to say no, even if they feel like it's a yes. It's really okay for you to cut off communication with a person if they're not respecting your boundaries and your wishes. You don't need to worry too much about their feelings because you're actually not responsible for them, you're responsible for you. Online dating. As I said before, I did this for you, but I kind of did this for me as well. I wanted to stretch and challenge myself and open up the boundaries of what I think is possible in relationships further than my romantic movie ideals. This doesn't mean that I'm lowering my standards or just going out with anyone who contacts me. Definitely not. I have a clear idea of what I want in a man, but I'm willing to look past first impressions and dig a little deeper. Don't we have to do this in real life as well? I've learned that life is more about giving than receiving. What if the next date that I go on, my goal is more about positively impacting that person's life and encouraging them to believe in who they are than for me to become a missus. Challenge time. You know you love the challenges. My challenge to you for this episode of Online Dating is to have a look at the people around you and to find someone that you like, you think is great, but maybe you were not so romantically interested in, and ask them out for coffee and intentionally pursue a deeper relationship with them. Maybe you'll just be friends, but maybe something will come out of that. Because I am awesome, I have compiled a little chart of all my online dating experience for you so you can have a look at price and rating and recommendations, things that were good or not so good from my experience. I'm sure there's probably more of an in-depth one out there on the interwebs, but if you like, you can have a look at the link below and see what I recommend or what I don't recommend for online dating sites. Come on everyone, let's talk about relationships.